User interface. In terms of the user interface, there are some similarities, but a number of differences. So let's explore them one by one. Let's first go into Oracle eBusiness Suite user interface, and then we'll come to Fusion Applications user interface, so you would see the difference straight away. So I'm gonna minimize this, and then first thing is, in eBusiness Suite you have the user interface as forms-based user interface and HTML-based user interface. So let's first have a look at the forms-based user interface. Let's go to General Ledger module, General Ledger Vision Operations USA responsibility, and within that, if I want to define a journal, then I go to journals and enter and hit the open button. It's going to open a forms-based UI, and then I say new journal, and here I start defining my journal. Fine. That's the method we use in eBusiness Suite. These are the forms. Out of my experience of working with a lot of business users, they don't find it very friendly at times, especially when the transactional volume is high. And that's where Oracle has got a feature of Application Desktop Integrator, or ADI, wherein one can import the data from an Excel-based spreadsheet into Oracle application forms. So it basically cuts down the amount of time that a user has to manually enter the records one by one in this forms-based UI. And people or users who are more familiar with Excel-based interface feel very comfortable working with such application desktop integrator, because it is based in Excel and it's integrated with Oracle applications through the macros provided by Oracle. And the data gets sucked into Oracle applications database via those macros. So that's how it works. But you don't have a form over here wherein you can enter an HTML UI. There are certain forms, but not all the forms are based in HTML UI. In eBusiness Suite, you will see half the forms having HTML based UI, and rest of them have got forms based UI. Traditionally, eBusiness Suite had all forms as the Java based UI forms, but gradually Oracle has introduced the HTML based UI. A simple example is, let's say if we go and change a responsibility and we go on to a module, let's say sourcing module. So we go to sourcing super user, and then within this I go to sourcing home page, and it's going to open that home page in HTML UI over here. Look, it's loading now. And then if I want to create, let's say, an RFQ in sourcing, then I click on one of these links and it's going to open the HTML UI for me, wherein I can enter the details, which is fairly a bit more easier as compared to entering in forms-based UI. As you could see here now, one can enter the details, and this is looking out to be much more simpler as compared to the forms-based UI. Okay, and out of my own experience, I find entering or data entry in HTML-based UI as faster as compared to forms-based UI. So that's the eBusiness Suite. Now let's go into Fusion Applications and we'll see the difference. In Fusion Applications, you will see all the forms as HTML-based UI. You don't see any forms as the forms I've just shown you over here in General Ledger responsibility, which is nothing but the forms-based UI. Let's keep this open so that we can refer it when we come back. Now we'll go to Fusion Applications over here. So let's go to a similar form, let's say for entering journals. So I go to Navigator, and then I will look for Journal Accounting, and within that I will go to Journals, and it's going to open a form or a workbench for me wherein I can start creating a journal. So look at that. So here you've got create journal form. So click on that one, And there you go. So as you could see, there is a considerable difference in terms of eBusiness Suite UI as compared to Fusion Applications UI. This is, out of its look and feel, this looks to be much more user friendly, plus one can enter the data much more faster, and you can see in terms of navigation itself, you will see all the functions right here on the left hand side, which are linked to the journals. Whereas in eBusiness Suite, you don't have that feature. Let's say when I go to journals, so they are not very handy. So this is one form. If you go to some other form, let's say purchasing form, again you will see a big form out there, but all the functions, if you want to change, you've got to come to the navigator and then change the function to go in that specific form. Whereas in Fusion Applications, you've got a choice to click on a related function straight away. Secondly, I told you in eBusiness Suite, you've got the feature of Application Desktop Integrator, or ADI, to import the data from an Excel-based spreadsheet into eBusiness Suite. Similarly, in Fusion Applications, you've got the feature of ADI, and you can import the records from an Excel-based sheet into Fusion Applications database automatically. In fact, the feature of ADI is at a lot more forms in Fusion Applications as compared to eBusiness Suite, because the ADI feature in eBusiness Suite are limited only to certain forms, only to certain applications, whereas in Fusion Applications, the ADI feature or the import functionality feature from an external source via an Excel file are at many places. So I find this one as much better as compared to eBusiness Suite.